Good morning everyone. I do hope you're doing well, wherever you are, whether you're still going to school or whether you're homeschooling. It's really wonderful to be able to share an assembly with you today, and over the next few weeks myself, Heather and Darren are going to be doing just that. So, where are we starting today? This is a hint. News. News, news, news. We hear so much news. Whether we read the newspapers, whether we listen to it on the radio, see it on the TV, or look at it online. And so much of the news that we see is sad news. But isn't it really great when we hear some good news? I wonder when you last had some good news to share. Can you remember how you felt? Can you remember what it was? What did you do? Did you run and tell your mum and dad? Did you phone up a friend? Did you send somebody a text or a message? I bet you really wanted to share that news. Well, I'm going to tell you a story today about a couple of people who had some really exciting news to share. So, two of Jesus's friends were going on a walk. I wonder if you've been enjoying walks over the last few weeks, getting out to do your daily exercise. I wonder what shoes you put on to go for a walk. Now, back then, they probably wore sandals, but I'm imagining these two people going on a walk in clumpy walking boots. So they're on a walk from Jerusalem to Emmaus. It's about 7 miles, so quite a long walk. And as they walk, they talk. And they're talking about what has happened over the last week. Over the last week, Jesus has arrived in Jerusalem and people have celebrated. He's made the Pharisees really angry by clearing out market sellers from the temple. He's had a Last Supper with his friends. And then he is arrested, put on trial, and put to death on a cross. That was Good Friday. It's now Easter Sunday, and they just heard from some women this morning that they visited the tomb and the tomb was empty, and that they spoke to Jesus, that he was alive. But surely that can't be right. So as these two friends walk, they're talking about all these things. They must have felt sad, confused. I'm imagining as they walked that they didn't notice the trees, the birds, the flowers, the sun, and all the things going on around them. I imagine they were feeling very heavy, very weary, just absorbed in the thoughts and the feelings that were going on inside them. I wonder if you've ever been on a walk like that. And Jesus then appears, but they don't recognise that it's Jesus. He comes and joins them on their walk. And he asks them what they're talking about, so they tell him. And he starts to explain why Jesus had to die. He starts to tell them bits from the whole of the Bible that point towards his death and then his coming back to life. I wonder if that helped the friends to understand. And then they get to Emmaus. And Jesus is invited to come and share a meal with the two friends. And it is during that meal, when Jesus breaks the bread, that the two friends recognise who it is. It's Jesus. He is alive. And then he disappears. What's going on? And that is when the next journey starts. Now, I imagine that they threw off their boots and they put on their running shoes. Because now they were going back from Emmaus to Jerusalem, all the way, that's whole 7 miles that they've just gone, all the way back again. But this time, I don't think they'll have noticed the trees, the flowers, the sun and everything going on around them. Not because they're absorbed in their own thoughts, because they were going so fast. They were now light and full with joy. They had good news to share with their friends, but they needed to get back to tell them. So that's why I imagine they put on their running shoes. And they went really quickly back to Jerusalem, even though it was pretty dark by this point, and they really should have waited till the next day. But they were desperate to tell their friends that they had seen Jesus too, that it wasn't just the women, it was them as well. I wonder if you can relate to that feeling of having good news to share. And this good news of Easter, this good news that Jesus is alive, and the hope that that brings with us, is good news that we can share too. It says in the Bible that Jesus wants us all to know and to hear this good news, and he wants us to tell others. I wonder if you want to tell anybody about it. Maybe you could tell them the story that I've just told you. Because Jesus being alive makes a difference to our lives today. As a Christian, Jesus being alive means that whatever is going on, however I am feeling, I still have hope. And I still have joy inside me, even when I'm feeling sad. So Jesus being alive makes so much difference to my life. Now, in each of our assemblies, we're going to share something that you could do at home. So today, I've got a little bit of a craft activity for you. I thought we could make some good news feet. So what you need to do is find some card, or it could be paper, coloured or white, and cut out a giant foot. Now, you might have somebody in your family who has giant feet that you could draw around. Or you could find a template online, or just have a go at drawing a foot. When you've got your giant foot cut out, you then need to find a newspaper or something with words all over it to cut out and stick onto your foot. And then remember, I said we're sharing good news, so you need to write the words good news really, really big across your newspaper on your foot. And then you might want to decorate it, particularly if it's white. Make it nice and colourful. You might have some stickers at home you could put on. And then what is that good news that you want to share? Is it the good news that I've just shared with you? That Jesus is alive? Maybe there's something else that you would like to share. Now, that is a great thing to make and to keep at home. But also, it would be great to share it, as we've been saying. So you could, when you've made your foot, or you can make more than one, post it through somebody's letterbox, a little bit like a letter, to tell them what the good news is that you have to share. Or you could put it into an envelope and put somebody's address on it, put a stamp on it and put it into the post box. And then you'd be posting the good news to somebody. Maybe you'd like to have a go at that. Who could you share good news with today to encourage them? Because it is really great to hear good news. I'm going to finish by saying a prayer. And if you would like to join in with that prayer, then say Amen at the end. Dear God, thank you for the good news that Jesus is alive and the hope that that brings to us. Help us to explore what that means for each of us and to share it with other people. Amen. Well, it's been really great to share with you this morning, and I look forward to doing so in a few weeks' time. Goodbye for now.